Have you ever wished to be unshakable? To walk through rejection, criticism, betrayal, and loss without breaking? To stop pretending you're okay when, inside, you're quietly crumbling? Maybe you're exhausted, tired of constantly trying to hold it all together, tired of appearing strong when what you truly long for is a moment of peace, a break from the weight of having to be untouchable. But here's the truth no one dares to say out loud. As long as you're running from pain, pain will run your life. As long as you're numbing yourself, hiding, performing, pretending, everything outside of you will keep having power over you. The words that hurt, the actions that disappoint, the silences that cut deep. And this isn't weakness, it's human. The only difference is, some people are just better at hiding it. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, said it clearly. We are not what happens to us. We are what we choose to become. The key isn't in armoring yourself or going numb. It's in integration. It's not about becoming cold or distant. It's about making conscious everything that still quietly controls you in the dark. Because real strength isn't the absence of pain. It's the clarity of knowing who you are, even when you're bleeding. If you're watching this right now, it's not random. This message is for you, the one who's tired of silently carrying the emotional weight of everyone else. You who feel at a disadvantage in every emotional exchange, like others, have some kind of power over your state of mind. You don't have to keep living like this, but to change, you'll have to face a few truths. And yes, they may hurt, but this time, that pain could set you free. Let's begin. You believe that what hurts you is out there, in the words spoken, in the betrayals endured, in the love withheld. But the truth is hard. Nothing has the power to hurt you, unless there's already a wound inside. It's not the event. It's what that event activates. It's the unhealed story it reawakens, the old trauma it touches, the sense of lack it exposes. Jung teaches us that external pain is only a mirror, showing us the internal pieces we still haven't faced. That's why some people walk through chaos with calm, while others collapse at the slightest trigger. It's not about what happens, it's about where it hits you. Here's an uncomfortable truth. You still suffer because deep down, you're trying to control how the world treats you. You're still trying to be good enough, kind enough, strong enough, believing that if you're perfect, no one will ever hurt you. But control is an illusion, and the more you cling to it, the more anxious, exhausted, and disappointed you become. If you truly want to stop suffering, then stop trying to protect yourself from suffering. You don't need more control. You need more awareness. As long as your peace depends on others changing, you'll remain emotionally enslaved. Your freedom begins the moment you realize outside events only hurt when they echo something unhealed inside you. That's the true battleground. You're unconscious. Because what you don't see, what you don't understand, ends up controlling you from the shadows. And that's where we're going next, into the unconscious. Because this is where true transformation begins. If this message resonates so far, go ahead and subscribe. This journey is only just beginning. Here's the biggest lie you've been told, that you're in control of your life. You're not while you keep living on autopilot, reacting without knowing why, feeling without understanding where it comes from, sabotaging yourself with decisions that make no sense. Jung said it perfectly. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That pain, that random outburst of anger, that inexplicable sadness, they're not random. They're messages. Messages from the parts of you that were never healed, never heard, never loved. Jung called this vast territory the unconscious. And it's not passive. It's alive. It's powerful. It's a system of hidden trauma, forgotten memories, unspoken fears, and unmet desires still shaping your present. Ever wonder why certain words break you but don't bother others? Because those words hit an open wound in you, a wound you've never looked at. And instead of healing it, you buried it. But as Jung warned, condemnation does not liberate. It oppresses. Your unconscious pain doesn't go away when you ignore it. It simply mutates. It shows up as toxic relationships, as self-sabotage, as fear that arrives just when things are going well. That's not bad luck. That's your unconscious demanding to be seen. If you want to stop being hurt so easily, stop running from what's inside you. Because the less you understand your inner world, the more it controls your outer world. The more you defend against pain, the more fragile you become. But there is a way out, and it's not through defense. It's through integration. To be truly untouchable isn't to resist pain, it's to fully know yourself. Let's go deeper. Most people think strength means shutting down, building emotional walls, wearing masks, pretending they don't care. They say things like, "I'm fine, I don't feel anything anymore." But inside, they're bleeding, quietly corroding. Because the problem isn't feeling. The problem is not knowing what you feel or why. Jung was right. When touching a human soul, be just another human soul. And your soul, the real one you keep hiding behind that perfect, polished character, it's begging to be seen. True emotional strength doesn't come from being cold. It comes from being clear. It's not about pretending you don't feel. It's about learning to feel with wisdom. You become untouchable when you embrace everything inside you, your fears, flaws, wounds, shadows, because once you've accepted what's within, nothing outside can control you. You're no longer reacting, you're choosing. That's what Jung called individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are. Not who the world wanted, not who you thought you had to be, but the person who emerges from the union of light and shadow. Jung said individuation isn't about becoming better. It's about becoming whole. The more you avoid pain, the more it controls you. But when you look directly at your wounds, at all that's beautiful and ugly, in you, something changes. No one can dismantle what you've already embraced. And yes, this journey takes courage. To look within, to drop the mask, to feel. Because transformation is always hidden inside pain. Let's keep going. You were taught to fear pain, to hide it, to label it as weakness. So you ran, distracted yourself, tried to stay strong. But pain doesn't disappear when ignored. It just burrows deeper. It turns into anxiety, numbness, addictions, emptiness. Until one day, you break. Jung didn't see suffering as failure. He saw it as the voice of the soul, the unconscious reaching out. He said, depression is like a woman in black. If she turns up, don't shoo her away. Invite her in, listen to what she has to say. But you've never listened, have you? You've numbed, hustled, distracted. Why? Because inside you, two forces are at war, one that wants to stay safe and one that wants to grow. Pain is the friction between these two parts. Growth hurts. Letting go hurts. Facing the truth hurts. But something new can only be born in the ashes of the old. When everything falls apart, your masks, your illusions, you finally meet the real you. And in that moment, suffering becomes sacred because it brings you face to face with the one thing that can set you free, yourself. Individuation begins here. Most people quit before they cross the valley of darkness. But you didn't. You're still here. That means you're ready. Let's continue. This journey, this individuation, it's not for the faint-hearted. Because it doesn't protect your ego, it destroys it. To become who you are, you must unlearn who you thought you were. And that hurts. You begin to see you are not your success, not your trauma, not the image you created to be accepted. That was survival, not living. Individuation is the call to live beyond survival, to let the unconscious rise, to tear away the mask, the persona, Jung said was a mask of collective convenience. And underneath, that's where your untouchable self lives, not because nothing affects you, but because you've already faced your deepest pain and come out whole. You've stopped needing approval, stopped needing to win, stopped needing to be strong, because you are whole. You've moved from the surface into the depths. And yes, depth comes at a cost. Not loneliness exactly, but separation. Because not everyone will follow you here. They're still clinging to masks, to shallow validation, to the fear of feeling. So you distance, not out of pride, but because you've outgrown the space you once had to shrink into. Now the final truth. What really protects you is not strength. It's awareness. Let's finish this journey. No shield will ever protect you from life. If you remain unconscious of yourself, the words will keep hurting. The rejections will sting. The losses will knock you down until you wake up. Awakening isn't a miracle. It's a decision made every day to look inside, no matter how hard it is, to take responsibility. Jung said, what you resist persists. What you accept transforms. You've spent your whole life resisting. The fear of being unloved, the pain of abandonment, the ache of emptiness. And what did that give you? Exhaustion. Now you know. True emotional power isn't hardness, it's clarity. It's not about building walls, it's about understanding yourself. Because once you do, nothing outside has power over you anymore. You still feel, but you don't drown. You still suffer, but you don't collapse. Because you live from the depths now. Those who stay on the surface get knocked over by every wave. But those who dive deep find peace. That's where you're going. If this video awakened something in you, comment below. I choose awareness. Let's start a new movement. Not of pretending to be strong, but of living truthfully. And don't stop here. The next video continues this path. Transformation begins when you keep going. See you there.